Alright, hello and welcome back to my tilemap editor, level editor, Unity tools tutorial kind of thing. Today is the last episode, so we've just got a couple of little additions I made, or alterations really, which is quite small, and then the asset release. So you'll be able to download this on itch.io now. There'll be a link somewhere in the description, and it'll be free. So yeah. So let's just have a look at these edits I made. First off was on the merging tile maps. I added two new basically conditions to this, which decide whether I'll add two new conditions to this if statement to decide whether the two chunks are valid to be merged, and they concern the chunks on the prefab that you're painting onto the tile map. So first one is if y minus y chunk lower bound is less than or equal to the number of rows minus 1 in the prefab, which was because, well, it's basically just this bit of code here. I did that because sometimes it would come up with an error saying that the y minus y chunk lower bound was out of range. So basically I've just added a check to make sure that it is within range of the prefab that you are trying to paint. And basically an identical bug was coming up for, well, I didn't see a bug, but I made it just to make sure I did a similar check for the x bound. So if the x minus x chunk low bound, which is how we access the indexes of the chunks in the prefab that we're trying to paint onto the tile map, we just get the layer to paint dot rows of tiles. We get the first one because it doesn't matter because all the rows will be of an identical length because of how the expanding of rows works. Then we get the component row, and then we get the tiles as chunks. So that just gives us a list of all the tiles in that row. Triangle compassed, and then we just do dot count minus 1 because remember indexes start at 0. Yeah. Next one. What was the next one? I added 4 painting areas. Where is it? For when we're painting an area. So, sorry, I may have just opened Steam there, so I'll have to be quick. Basically, for where we're painting areas, if we do something like this, I added an offset of 0.25 to each one, because sometimes it would miss like a row on the edge or something because of how the rounding works or something like that. So what I've done is I've added 2.5 just to try and ensure that all the like edges are included as well as the like chunk between 2 points you've defined. And this green bit not being painted is not a bug. It's because there's 3 layers, and that is on sorting layers. Yeah, so if we increase the sorting layer, it goes up, but we can also decrease it and make it go down. So yeah, sorry, that wasn't a bug. That was just sorting orders. Now the third one, the third change, not trying, is basically I've added scroll areas to the GUI, so we can just scroll, and we don't have a giant bit of area there being taken up, and yeah, you can see them all. So that is done on the loading, or the GUI to load different tile maps that you've saved, on the selection for painting or importing different tile maps into another tile map, and I think, yep, for sprites selection for painting, that is also had a scroll bar put in, and I will show you how to do that, or how I did that. So where is the scroll one? Yes, no, maybe, no, yeah, right. So what we've done is we're using this process scroll position value, which we used for our previous scroll area. I believe it was this one. It's using the same vector too, so I'll just check that again. Where is it? Sorry, MonoDevelop. Yeah, so MonoDevelop, we just use GUI layout.begin scroll view. We pass in a vector2, which just starts at 0, 0, and that will basically store the sort of where the scroll is, and we need to assign it so it keeps the scroll position. So it's kind of like one of those odd things where we need to specify we use it to set the same variable that we're passing into it, because it's as GUI to set the value of it, if that makes sense. And then you can pass in different GUI layout arguments. So here for the painting one, we've set the height to be 500. And yeah, and you can also pass in width or whatever. And then after we've gone through all the tiles and done that, then we end the scroll view, which basically just stops the scroll view. Another change I made was that instead of if y equals 30 or something that I was using before, I've just decided if G is equal to the last tile in the list, then we will end the vertical, so that when it knows when to what's the word? It knows that it's finished, so it can end the vertical area, and then we won't have any glitches with anything that's drawn below this particular section. So yeah, that's the other change that I made there, and I think this is identical within. Yep. So this is again for when we're on the painting prefabs bit. Again, we have the process scroll position. We begin with the begin scroll view method, and we're passing in process scroll position and the GUI layout arguments for like how it looks. And again, we're going through all these tile maps. We're drawing textures for the asset previews on buttons, and then again, instead of using the Y value to decide when to end the vertical, we're just using the last element in the list. And yeah, and then finally, after we've drawn all the tile maps, we just use the end scroll view, and I will just show you that again, just to show you that it is all the same, because it is in the loading and saving of tile maps section. So yeah, again, process scroll view equals GUI layout that begins scroll view. This time we've got a height of 300, which probably doesn't actually make a difference, so I'll just change that to like 500 to match the others. And as you can see, that should expand in a second. Load existing tile maps, and yeah, now it's 500, and you can see we've got all the different tile maps and stuff. And I don't know why I'm loading up Airsprite, because I clicked the wrong thing. And yeah, as you can see, go for all the tile maps, draw an asset preview for loading and saving and whatnot. We've covered all this code in the previous episode, so go check that out if you want a more detailed description of it. Then again, if G equals the last tile map, we end vertical. And finally, at the end, we have the end scroll view. So yeah, that is all the changes I made. If this is like the first time watching it, basically I've made a quick tutorial series on, I say quick, it took 3 months, but I was only working on it like 1 day a week. So yeah. Basically, it's a quick tile map editor. Some of the features that I've added is like saving, loading existing tile maps. You can expand the grid as to your needs. So one of the things I found with the other tile map I used for Loud or Quiet was that it's sort of just odd. Not odd. It worked, yeah. Just I thought I could try making a better one, and I don't know if I have, but you can be the judge of that. You can manipulate the sorting order of layers without having to change out. There's a fair few different brush types, so we've got like a paint single. If we do that, we can paint like have a spray can, so we just like let's increase the size here. So we have a spray can, we've got a circle, so we've got circles and squares as well. So yeah, we can add rules to the tiles that you place in the world. So you can have like whether the tiles should change if they're adjacent to other tiles, whether there should be like if you're painting a tile, there should be a random selection of tiles, or like say if you had like a load of identical grass tiles like I have here, you could just select it to be a random one of them, just to add some variety to the tile sets. You can also add animations, so if you have like a water sprite or whatever, or tree blowing up some shit, I don't know. Yeah, and we've also got erasing, and you can import existing tile maps. So if I find, say, this one, this random bit of sprites, yeah, you can see that it is getting imported around or under the existing house bit. And yeah. So that is now out on itch.io. It will be available as a... I'm going to upload the project file, so if you want to use it in your own project, you will have to import it or export it as a package file, but I'm sure you know how to do that. It's like file... Where is it? I just know it. Export package. And then I believe you just select all the files you want. So in this case, you'd want just like the editor scripts, and you'll need the resources folder and whatnot, and all the scripts. So yeah. So cheers for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out all my shit on itch.io. Loud or Quiet, which I'm currently making a trailer for, is hopefully going to be out on Steam mid-November. It's like maybe the 20th. I'm thinking of. So yeah. Again, other stuff on itch.io. I have to think of a new series now. I'm done with this. So yeah, cheers for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.